Ancient Egypt. From its unity in 3100 BC through its conquest by Alexander the Great in 332 BC, ancient Egypt was the preeminent civilization in the Mediterranean world for over 30 years. From the enormous pyramids of the Old Kingdom to the military victories of the New Kingdom, Egypt's magnificence has long captivated archaeologists and historians, spawning a thriving area of study in its own right, Egyptology. The many monuments, items, and artifacts unearthed from archaeological sites, covered with hieroglyphs that have just lately been deciphered, are the primary sources of information about ancient Egypt. The picture that emerges is of a culture that has few counterparts in terms of the beauty of its art, the accomplishment of its building, or the depth of its religious traditions. Little written records or artifacts from the pre-dynastic period, which spanned at least 2,000 years of Egyptian civilization's gradual growth, have been discovered. Neolithic, Late Stone Age, people in northeastern Africa traded hunting for agriculture, paving the stage for the subsequent development of Egyptian arts and crafts, technology, politics, and religion, including a great reverence for the dead and possibly a belief in life after death. Around 3400 BC, two separate kingdoms were established near the Fertile Crescent, which was home to some of the world's oldest civilizations, the Red Land to the north, based in the Nile River Delta and extending possibly to Atfi, and the White Land to the south, stretching from Atfi to Gabel es-Silsilah. About 3200 BC, a southern monarch named Scorpion attempted to capture the northern kingdom for the first time. King Menes would conquer the north and unify the country a century later, becoming the first monarch of the First Dynasty. King Menes established ancient Egypt's capital at White Walls, later known as Memphis, in the north, near the peak of the Nile River Delta. Throughout the Old Kingdom period, the capital grew into a large metropolis that dominated Egyptian civilization. The archaic era saw the establishment of Egyptian society's underpinnings, particularly the all-important notion of kingship. The king was a godlike entity to the ancient Egyptians, intimately associated with the all-powerful god Horus. This is also the time when the oldest known hieroglyphic writing was discovered. Throughout the archaic period, as in all subsequent times, most ancient Egyptians were farmers living in tiny communities, and agriculture, mostly wheat and barley, served as the Egyptian state's economic foundation. Every year, the Nile River's annual floods provided the required irrigation and fertilizer. Farmers sowed the wheat after the flooding receded and collected it before the season of high temperatures and drought returned. The era of the pyramid builders in the ancient kingdom, circa 2686 to 2181 BC. The Old Kingdom began with the Third Pharaoh dynasty. About 2630 BC, King Djoser of the Third Dynasty commissioned Imhotep, an architect, priest, and healer, to create a funerary monument for him. The result was the world's first significant stone construction, the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, near Memphis. The Great Pyramid of Giza, on the outskirts of Cairo, was the pinnacle of Egyptian pyramid building. The pyramid was built for Khufu, or Cheops in Greek, who ruled from 2589 to 2566 BC, and was later called one of the seven wonders of the ancient world by classical historians. According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, it took 100,000 men 20 years to build. At Giza, two more pyramids were built for Khufu's successors, Khafra, 2558 to 2532 BC, and Menkaure, 2532 to 2503 BC.